Okay, well, thanks for having us. We are here because our program is opening a new location in the South Bronx nearby, and we're just looking to recruit clients. Interesting to hear about your experience at the door because maybe you can refer us some new people. So we are a gender-responsive diversion program for girls and non-binary youth who are at risk of justice system involvement. We started in 2021 as a demonstration project in Brooklyn that was founded by the Vera Institute of Justice and partnered with Rising Grounds, Steps to End Family Violence. And we've been operating since 2021 in Brooklyn and just were awarded a new contract by ACS last summer to open another location here in the Bronx. So we're in the process of opening that up. And yeah, we will be opening our program. We are open for referrals now. We are designed as both an intervention and preventive program, and clients can be court mandated or can be voluntary. Anyone can refer a client, and all participants receive paid cash incentives for engaging in the program. To start the program, a young person must meet the following. They could live here, go to school, have a court case, really anything. We want to make it work for as many people as possible, so we will make it work as best as we can. Be 18 or younger at the time of referral. We generally take 13 through 18-year-olds, and be at risk or already involved with the New York City juvenile justice system. This could look like being involved in some kind of criminalized activity, a history of arrests, school suspensions or truancy, child welfare system involvement, housing insecurity. This is also a pretty loose requirement that we try to fit in people as much as possible. Yeah. And referrals for the young people can, as I said, be mandated or voluntary. So to break down what it means to be mandated, if a young person has a court case, it could potentially be, their sentence could be reduced if a judge decides that participating in this program could be an alternative to some sort of sentence for them. And also voluntary, anyone can sign up. A friend could refer a friend, a social worker could refer a client. And we create a collaborative treatment plan between the young person and staff members. So we really want young people to have as much agency in their experience as possible and choose what services they want to engage in, what sort of things they want to focus on throughout their time. And to be enrolled in the program, they should be actively engaged in services, and they'll have access to counseling, economic empowerment services, and group sessions. And they should participate in at least one 30-minute session per week. We can skip past these examples just for brevity, but our menu of services, for individual services, we have counseling or therapy, educational and employment services, and then groups, which include drop-in groups as well as cohort groups that they can sign up for with various topics that we will get into a little bit later. And then this is just the incentive breakdown. So for individual sessions, they receive $10 per session. For the drop-in group, $15. And for the longer cohort groups that they would make a longer time commitment for, they would receive $20 per session. And we're working on increasing the incentives, but as of now, that is what it is.
Also, I can talk a little bit about our intake process. So intakes can come into either office through referrals like at the door, like at schools, court mandated. We get a lot of referrals from places like the Brooklyn Defenders, Bronx Defenders, Legal Aid Society, places like that. And once received, our intake coordinators will reach out within 2 business days to initiate that first talk, which is just going to be 10 to 15 minutes, introduce our program, find out if we're a good fit for the young person, and also find out if they want to do it. That's a huge point that Just Us makes, is we want to engage with our young people and give them as much autonomy in the process as possible, because we understand that so many young people don't have a lot of autonomy in a lot of areas of life, so we want to make sure that this is a place where they can feel in control. Then intake will happen. It'll be about 2 to 4 sessions. It's pretty extensive. We have a long intake form with a lot of questions on their family history, personal history, what they're up to now, what they're interested in, goals. And then the intake coordinator will co-create a plan of engagement. So what does the young person want to do? Do they want to do counseling? Do they want to do economic empowerment? And we'll go from there. Most people will participate in counseling, but if they don't, we'll do some of the counseling aspects, like create a genogram with them, with the intake coordinator. And then at the end of all of that, there is a warm handoff to either the counselor or perhaps the group's facilitator if the young person does not want to do individual counseling, or the economic empowerment specialist if they would just like to focus on that. Like I mentioned, I'm the counselor. I'll be the counselor in the Bronx space. My name's Sophia. And our program is really rooted in being as youth-centered as possible. We really want to make it about our clients. So we're very healing-centered, trauma-informed practice, focusing on anti-oppressive practice as much as possible, especially as we come into a new neighborhood like the South Bronx. Our program is led by licensed professionals, LMSWs. I'm a social worker, and we also have our clinical director who's a licensed mental health counselor. It's a space for the young people to really come and have the opportunity to talk about whatever they want. We focus on a lot of topics like healthy relationships, identity, trauma responses, and we also outline everyone's individual goals when they start with us. So what do you want to work on? What does the future look like to you? How can we help? And counseling is intended to be weekly for 30 to 50 minutes, one-on-one in a private place. We have a physical office space where clients are encouraged to come in person, but if that doesn't work for them, we're totally happy to be flexible and we'll do it on a FaceTime. We use WebEx in our office. It's meant to do WebEx or phone call. So really whatever works for the young person, it works for us.
A little bit about economic empowerment services. So for individual services, our economic empowerment specialists do one-on-one counseling, specifically geared toward any educational or employment goals that a young person might have, or financial management goals, basically. So they can have weekly one-on-one sessions, do money management, career development, and job readiness, assistance obtaining any government documents that they might need for any number of employment or services, right? Like you were talking about, housing, things like that. Yeah, so that can look like New York State ID, birth certificates, things like that. And then entrepreneurship, mentoring, small business development, and whatever supports they're interested in. This really ranges based on age, especially since we're from 13 to 18. A 13-year-old will have very different goals than an 18-year-old. So can look like just academic support if they're struggling in school, or it can look like finding a job in housing if they're, older. So yeah. And then for our group workshops under economic empowerment, the department offers a workshop series for participants who want to do a little bit more intensive occupational or educational opportunities. So they run generally at least twice a year, and we like to add some more specialized workshops as needed by clients, and we can sort of tailor to what they're interested in. But the general workforce development ones are focused on getting ready to get a job, create their resume, interview prep, all of that. And then also we do alternative pathways to earning a high school diploma, college readiness, help applying for college, help applying for financial aid. And we do specialized workshops as well, such as our small business development. Here you can see one of our young people doing her Shark Tank presentation to start up a small business. Yeah. And also a lot of money management, financial literacy, banking one-on-one, as well as field trips to college tours, job fairs, library events, and a paid internship once they complete this workshop.